The following is brought to you by Amity Innovations. Whether you're building a new home or remodeling, call the green builders you can trust at 832-331-3580. Amity Innovations, where we create the difference.
You're listening to the Smells Like Middle-Aged Spirit podcast.
What smells so bad?
It's strong, but you'll get used to it. Now, here are your hosts, Nick Stevenson and Naomi Richardson.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time again. Whatever time of day it is, wherever you may be listening in the world, welcome to episode 53 of the Smells Like Middle-Aged Spirit podcast. Coming to you from the Stephen Terry Pest Elimination Studio in Deer Park, Texas, I am your gracious and humble host, Nick Stevenson. Naomi Richardson, a.k.a. the Man-Eater, is in the building. My man Josh Beard is on the ones and twos.
What it do?
And we have two very special guests. If you are a resident of the Deer Park, Pasadena, Southeast Houston area, these gentlemen need no introduction. If you're a listener of the Smells Like Middle-Aged Spirit podcast, you know who these gentlemen are. First of all, Stephen Terry is back with us. Appreciate you coming back in, sir.
Thanks for having me.
And for the first time in Studio A, a.k.a. Stephen Terry Pest Elimination Studio, we have Larry Showalter.
Great to be here.
Good to have you here, man. I've been talking about you and telling the listeners, you know, how grateful we are for your friendship and your companionship and what you've contributed to our podcast. So it's good to finally have you in studio, man.
Great to be here.
Only thing that's missing is an omelet. Me and Larry like to go to to Ken's and get ourselves an omelet, you know, at least once a month. But I'm glad to have you here, man. I'm glad to finally have you part of the show. So, ironically, we have you two gentlemen here. I'm gonna go ahead and get into it before headlines. You know, sometimes you plan things,
Just gotta roll with
and then
it.
you just gotta roll with it. So everybody knows that Stephen Terry is the man when it comes to pest elimination. And a lot of you know that thanks to us. No, I'm kidding.
Shameless plug.
And I've told you guys, you know, L&M Roofing, like I said, you guys know who these guys are. Larry, I see your signs everywhere. Your signs are not just synonymous with the Deer Park area, but they're synonymous with who you are as a person, what your business motto is, and that's to take care of people and take care of the community. You guys are both active in the community. So I'm glad that you guys are both here together, and a lot of people may wonder why bring them in together. Well, you guys recently made an amazing announcement that L&M Roofing is teaming up with Stephen Terry, and you guys have created now Upscale Roofing, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. So I call this a dyad in the Force. I don't know if anybody watches Star Wars, but that's the dyad in the Force is when two very force strong people come together, and then they just make like basically this super human connection.
Super business.
Yeah, it's just it's a powerhouse. And so I told you guys both when Larry came to me and told me he was talking about getting in to business with you, Stephen. I said that sounds like a match made in heaven for me because you guys are two of my favorite guys. So congratulations on that. So when was the official announcement?
Last Tuesday after the hurricane.
Okay.
Actually, it's Saturday before the Tuesday.
Kind of, sort. Yeah, I guess. You know, we were talking about it and put some stuff out there, but we didn't really start going, blasting everything on social media and everything until Tuesday.
Right.
We woke up Tuesday morning and we were sitting there and Larry goes, make the post.
Right.
Let's do it.
So what kind of response did you guys get? I mean, like I said, you guys are well known in the community.
I feel like it was really good. I got a lot of instant messages or direct, whatever you want to call them, and people were messaging me. And then Larry's phone was already blowing up because it was a freaking hurricane.
Right.
So
you guys went straight to work.
Oh, it was unbelievable. He called me that, we lost power. So I was, laying in bed, and he calls like, all right, let's go. Time to get running.
Yeah.
So we literally hit the ground running.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to have you guys here, man. Congratulations on that. Ironically, what we decided to talk about today is trying to balance life and work. And both of you are very successful businessmen, so you've had to navigate those waters for several years now. And I think you guys probably have a good grasp of the do's and the do nots at this point. And I think if anybody's listening today and maybe that's something they're struggling with, you guys are going to be the perfect people to speak on this subject. So
I know. I could certainly use some pointers.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Hey, Larry, make sure that mic's in front of you.
Okay.
There you go. Alrighty. So we'll get into that, but first let's talk about the headlines of the week with Naomi.
Headlines.
All right. Great to be back here with y'all in the studio. Starting off headlines, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital is about to receive a massive donation from one of the world's richest people, entrepreneur Elon Musk, the ultra-wealthy CEO and co-founder of Tesla, and the CEO and founder of SpaceX, tweeted that he will donate $50 million to the hospital. The announcement on Twitter comes after SpaceX's trailblazing 3-day tourist trip, as some dub it, ended safely Saturday with a splashdown in the Atlantic Ocean. The all-amateur crew was the first to circle the world without a professional astronaut. The 4-person crew included Haley Arsenault, I hope I pronounced that correctly, a childhood cancer survivor who now works for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So that's just awesome. I love hearing positive stories like that.
Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that, Elon. I got nothing bad to say about that.
Right?
Some of the other stuff you do, yeah.
But flamethrowers, seriously,
Don't
come
talk
on.
about my man like that.
On the flip side, I know a lot of y'all are following the Petito story. Latest update is law enforcement underwater dive team arrived at a nature reserve in Florida on Wednesday as part of the search for Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito's fiance, who has been missing for several days. The ongoing search comes as investigators try to piece together what happened to Petito, who was 22, and Laundrie, who's 23. Petito's remains were recovered in Wyoming's Bridger Teton. Yeah, I don't know how to do that one either. Teton National Forest on Sunday, and a coroner made the initial determination Tuesday that she did die by homicide. Both Petito and Laundrie obviously were missing. Laundrie is still being searched for, so we'll see what comes of that. Comedian Norm Macdonald
R.I.P.
has passed. Absolutely. I'm so bummed to hear that. Just grew up watching his stuff. Hilarious.
I used to do a pretty good Norm Macdonald impression, but I'm not going to go for it today.
You can't say that and not do it.
Maybe by the end of the show. We'll
Okay,
see.
maybe later.
Okay.
Maybe later.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
We'll stick a pin in that. McDonald had been privately battling cancer for 9 years and died Tuesday morning. Houston Texans rookie Davis Miller is to start the quarterback position Thursday against the Panthers. Coach David Coley said the 1-1 Texans plan to elevate Jeff Driscoll from the practice squad to back up Mills against the 2-0 Panthers.
Super Bowl!
And in case anybody was wondering, Davis Miller is new to the team. The old quarterback is Davis Mills.
Oh, thank you.
I was counting on you, Steven.
Thank you. And from our favorite state in the United States, obviously outside of ourselves, Florida man has been sentenced to 90 days of home detention and 288 hours of community service for his part in a trafficking scheme in which live water monitor lizards were stuffed into socks and concealed inside electronics to be smuggled from the Philippines to the United States. Leave it to Florida.
Okay,
Yeah.
So what do the lizards do?
They were trying to be smuggled in
Yeah,
socks
for
and electronics.
pets?
Probably, maybe.
Maybe you know those frogs like people used to lick so they could get high? Is that a thing? No?
I don't know. These kids, I mean, it's Tide Pods, last I heard. I don't know.
You're showing your age there, Nick.
It was before my time. It was before my time. But yeah.
In conclusion, the Rockets still suck. The Texans still suck. The Cowboys will definitely always suck. I don't even want to hear anything about the way that they played, okay? I don't want to hear it. And the Astros are still the 2017 world champions.
Absolutely. And possibly 2021.
Woo woo.
Can we change that last part? I know that's our thing. Can we change that to like fuck Steve from Blue's Clues? Fuck Britney Spears.
Oh my gosh.
No, we can't. Okay. Moving forward.
You know what I hope? This is the last thing I'll say about it. I hope someone from one of your childhood shows comes back and speaks directly to you, and you get all emotional or say
It's not gonna happen.
And then
It's not
we're
gonna
all
happen.
gonna point fingers at you.
It's not gonna happen.
I think Mr. Rogers is dead, so it can't
Yeah,
happen for
thank
me.
you. Unless his skeleton pops out of the ground Thriller style, it's not gonna happen.
They're gonna make a CGI of him. Watch.
So look. Okay, so the Gabby Petito story Extremely sad. I think what we need to do is the people from the Don't Fuck with Cats documentary.
Oh yeah.
No.
They are
They
on
need
it.
they need to find
Have you already found if you're on
Brian
TikTok?
Laundrie.
There's people breaking down videos, and there was the biggest thing right now is there was a YouTube channel. I think they're called Red, Right, and Bluth. I think it's the name of it. They happen to be having a dash cam on their car
Right.
while they were filming, and they happened to drive past their van.
right.
And you can see that there's a couple of different things you can see. There's one where you can see from a distance that the doors of that van are open, and as they get closer, the door closes.
Okay.
Because when they get there, there's you can't see anything. So there's definitely somebody there. Do we know who it is? No, because we don't know. We can't see it.
Right.
As it gets closer, if you zoom in on the bottom, there is the actual pair of flip flops that Gabby's wearing in the last post on her Instagram.
Yeah.
Behind the van.
No, it's
Crazy.
the sandals she's wearing in the police video.
Yeah.
Are sitting behind the
And
van.
then next to that looks like it's some kind of book she was carrying with her.
Yeah.
And as it goes forward, you can see her hat on the dash and the little cacti she was carrying around.
Okay, so yeah, so those are the people who love being like private investigators to find out what happened. We need somebody to actually find this dude.
He's not lost. He's hiding.
Right, so we need someone to find him.
Well, he can be found.
And the people from that documentary, Don't Fuck with Cats, like they were
They were
like next level. They were next level.
The best video I saw so far was some lady that on the Gabby posts. There was somebody going on the Brian Instagram.
Yeah.
There was somebody on there posing as Gabby, like, please don't talk about Brian like that, whatever. Someone was able to click on it, find out. Long story short, find out that it's using a Gmail that has her name and her birthday, who's tied to a phone number that happens to end in the exact same two phone numbers as his mother, and then that the name of that owner of that Gmail has the same initials as his father. So it looks like the parents are posing as Gabby.
Wow.
Trying to go on Brian's post and say, don't talk about Brian, and going to all these posts and acting as Gabby. That's not her, obviously.
Just messy, messy, messy.
I'll send you the
Wait,
video.
this is before we realized she was dead?
This is
I'm
before we
assuming?
realized, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
This was like Monday.
Yeah, that's like some QAnon stuff. I don't know about all that. All I know is that we really don't know what happened. I would say all signs point to this young man probably killed her. I'm not going to, and it's been ruled a homicide. So, and everybody likes to be private detective. I just think it's a sad situation. Like, I hope their family gets justice. And I don't know. I you guys know me. I get into debates online, and like everybody watched that police video, and they're like, "Oh, you can tell it was premeditated." I was like, "You can't tell anything from this video other than he got assaulted that day." That is, I'm not saying that's an excuse for killing someone, but like the only thing that video tells you is that he got assaulted that day. That's the only thing it tells you.
We don't know the whole story.
And I would argue, I've been in a toxic relationship. I've been physically abused by a woman who was not arrested because she was a woman. I would argue, had the police done their job and actually arrested her for assaulting her boyfriend that day, she might be alive today. Because maybe she gets put in jail and her parents come get her, and maybe that trip ends because they're separated. And I'm not making excuses for what happened to her or for this dude. Like, all signs are pointing to he probably killed her, and if he did, throw him under the jail. I'm not defending him. I'm just saying we like to, with the information we know, we like to draw conclusions. Like,
Right.
We don't even know for sure that he did it
Yep.
at this point. I think the evidence will probably eventually lead us to what happened. And I leave it at that. Yeah, it's just a sad situation, and I leave it at that. So many people see their own personal experiences in there, though, and I can tell like they're injecting their own personal
narratives.
experience and narratives, and it's like you gotta wait. And I'm not trying to defend a murderer. I'm just saying you gotta wait.
Yeah.
Because look, I've been accused of doing things I didn't do before, and people jump to conclusions then. So all I'm saying is like all signs are pointing to this dude is probably guilty, but with the information that all of us have, we don't know yet. So all I say is it's sad, and you know, prayers to their family.
Any death is sad.
Yeah, and hopefully they find justice for her and get some closure on that. Alrighty. Anything else in the headlines we want to talk about? Other than the Cowboys being terrible?
I don't know. I think we have a winning record.
All right. All right.
We.
So that was headlines for this week. And Naomi, appreciate you doing your fine research as always. Let's go ahead and get a Stephen Terry pest elimination ad, and we'll hop into our main topic.
Did you want Stephen Terry or did you want?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey everybody, it's your gracious and humble host, Nick Stevenson, telling you once again about Stephen Terry Pest Elimination. If you haven't called Stephen Terry yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Summertime's still here, the mosquitoes are still in full force, and they probably won't be gone until about November. That is why until November, Stephen Terry is offering a monthly mosquito treatment. And if you tell him that you heard about him right here on the Smells Like Middle-Aged Spirit podcast, he's going to give you half off of your first month of that mosquito treatment. Stephen Terry came to do my aunt's before. I haven't seen an ant in my house ever since. Stephen Terry did the mosquito treatment at Chris Clark's house. Haven't seen a mosquito at his house. I'm not just telling you guys this because he's a sponsor of the Smells Like Middle-Aged Spirit podcast and a good friend. I'm telling you this because Stephen Terry gets the job done. His customer service, it all speaks for itself. So give him a call at 713-477-0047. Tell him that the Smells Like Middle-Aged Spirit podcast sent you. If it's scary, call Stephen Terry. Alrighty.
I was about to say, I've got a I had a very scary encounter just the other day. I was in the car rider line picking up my kids, and it's starting to feel a little bit nicer. Fall's officially here. And so I had the windows down, and I'm just on my phone, and I look over, and there's a mosquito. I swear it's almost about the size of a quarter. And it was like orange and black striped. It was a tiger mosquito. I don't know what it was.
Tiger mosquito.
It started flying at me, and I'm screaming in my car, going crazy. And I was like, oh my gosh. People are like,
you should have let it bite you. Maybe you'd have turned into a superhero.
Ooh.
Mosquito woman.
It doesn't sound very appealing to me.
You already
actually
have a name for you.
It is. Oh my God.
Good Lord. All right. Josh Beard on the ones and twos. King of the sound drops. Okay. So, in the United States, we are a capitalistic country. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because in this country, you can put your head down and go to work and grind hard, and you can make a good life for yourself. And in that capitalist country, you can go from nothing to whatever you want if you put in the work. And I'm not going to say that America doesn't guarantee outcome, but it guarantees opportunity for everybody to do that. So sometimes you work for yourself, sometimes you work for other people, but as hard as you want to work, you can make the life that you want for yourself for the most part. I'm not going to get into any like socioeconomical conversations right now, but it's the land of opportunity. So here in America, I think a lot of people take extreme advantage of that. I've been doing some research on how much we in America work. And one of the articles I read said that you're going to spend about 1/3 of your life at work. And I would venture to say if you're an entrepreneur or you work in the plants, you can probably make that more. It's probably like half your life.
I was going to say like 4/5.
Yeah, if you're an entrepreneur, you work for yourself, you're spending a lot of time working. And obviously the reason you do that is because most of us either want to provide for ourselves or we have families, we want to provide for them and maybe even have something to pass on to them later on when we're not here, build a legacy. And so a lot of people stay at work. I work with people who stay at work. I know some guys who are always at work. I see them. I'm like, do you ever go home? And they're like, yeah, man, a couple times a month. I mean, I'm talking working 9, 10, 11, 12 hours or 12 days straight. And, they got the nice lifted truck and the big house and all this stuff. But look, man, and I'm not knocking anybody for doing that. But in my own personal experience, in my younger days, I used to chase the money. If there was overtime to be taken, I took it. If there was an extra job, a side hustle, I was doing it because I wanted to make all the money and get the money. That was, and at the time I had my daughter was, when I don't know, it's from the age that she was, newborn to maybe like 6 years old. I was just getting it for that whole time. And I'll tell you right now, I don't have any of that money right now. all that money is gone.
It's because you're sitting in it, Nick.
No, this was a whole.
I was trying to make you feel better.
No,
Nick. I'm
no.
sorry.
I wish that was the case. That money is at bars and, man, dare I say, strip clubs. That money is. Maybe I like to think I sent somebody to college, possibly. Who knows?
That's good. That's a great feeling.
It's possible.
Yeah,
It's possible.
It's good.
No, I mean, I did all that work, and I thought I'm gonna work. I'm gonna make a name for myself. I'm gonna please my employer, and then at the drop of the hat, they let me go anyway. And here I am with a 6-year-old daughter that I've missed a ton of time with at this point. Yeah. And yeah, I had a little bit of money in my 401k, but now I'm unemployed. So the money I'd built up for 6 years took about a year to spend that. And now I was ass out with nothing. And I'm not going to sit here and say I was a bad father, but I didn't take advantage of the time that I should have. And so I think that's probably the story of a lot of people. And some people are addicted to the work. Some people are addicted to the paycheck. They're addicted to the number in their bank account, and they may not even realize it while they're in it. And I don't know what your guys' experience was, but it was a really somber moment for me when I ended up ass out with none of that money and like had to start all over again. But I started over with a new mentality of, yes, I'm going to work, I'm going to take care of my family, but I'm also going to prioritize spending time with that family, because I realized my daughter was not going to remember the things that I bought her. She was going to remember the time that we spent together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm 37 years old. I have my daughter's in high school now. She's a sophomore. And I have a hard time not feeling like, I mean, she's here now, and I try to take advantage of the time that she's here. And trust me, I'm not the workaholic I used to be at all. But it's hard because I feel like there's a lot that I missed, and it's a difficult pill to swallow sometimes. But if you're in that situation, it's never too late to change it. And that's why I'm so downs of trying to find work-life balance. So now that you guys have built this conglomerate, I'm gonna give the floor to you guys to talk about first of all your early struggles with work-life balance and how you've tried to work towards finding more of a balance to where you can spend quality time with your family, but still, do what you got to do to take care of them. Where you got who wants to go first?
Oh man,
I'll let the boss go first.
I should have put the buzzers in the middle of the table.
So I've always been. So my dad's always owned his own business since I was a little kid. So I've always been kind of in the self-employed realm, I guess what you would say. And then you grow up and you go work for your dad, and working for your dad is freaking hard.
Yeah.
He's your boss and he's your dad. So
Expectations.
so he can fire you and he can spank you.
Right.
I'm a grown man, Dad. But so there was always that, and then me and my dad had been partners for a long time, and then I just got burnt out of working for my dad. Yeah. So I went to work in the plant. So I was an operator for almost 10 years, and so.
Are you still single at this time?
No. I started my business with my dad in 2000, and me and my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time. So, so I was single, but almost practically married, I guess.
You were ghetto married.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah. And so,
okay. So, but at this point, you're focused on getting it in.
Getting it, right.
Yeah.
So I'm working, trying to work, and it's so, man, we could go down so many different rabbit holes right now. Doing business now is so much easier with social media and just the way that you can advertise to people. Mm-hmm. So you could work your ass off for 12 hours, 14 hours a day or whatever, and not reach a fraction of the people that you can reach now by just going on Facebook and making a post.
Yeah.
Or get on the gram and stuff like that. So
right.
You had to really grind it. Like, when you're out working, if you stop at somebody's house to spray them for ants or something like that, you got to go talk to all the neighbors, and, then
right.
You got to hurry up, jump in your truck and run to the next one. If you do that, 10, 11 times a day, it gets tough, So I got burnt out on it.
Yeah.
And that's when I went to the plants, and like all my buddies, like you say, driving the big old jacked up shit.
Right.
I'm like, I need to give me one of those.
Exactly.
And, so I did that, and I grinded it there, working just the same amount of hours, but made quite a bit more money doing that. And I would have been probably still would be there if they hadn't told me that they thought I had cancer and had to go through a whole bunch of screenings and stuff like that, and it freaked me out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's like you say, that's when I really started putting things into perspective. Like, okay, when I was working for myself and working with my dad, family time, always family time. We all, birthdays, we didn't miss anything.
Right.
I'm at the plant. It's like, it's my wife's birthday, and somebody says, "Hey, you want to work? You want some overtime?" Hell yeah, I want some overtime.
Yeah.
And so you do get sucked into that. And then so after I went through that whole screening process, me and my wife had some conversations, and I told her that I wanted to quit my job. Making like at the plants, these guys, when we're the dumbest people on planet. Making $150,000 a year, like you just think so
Thinking
that's a
you're
lot
rich.
of you think you are, and so and my wife, when I told her I wanted to give it up, she said, "Give it up,
Yeah.
come be with your family."
It's called being hood rich is what it is. That's what I call it. You're cash rich.
Oh,
You got the
absolutely.
jacked up truck. You got the big house. You got the swimming pool in the back, and you are in debt up to your fucking eyeballs.
Oh, man.
And
It's true though.
and the thing is in this country, but that's what we're programmed to do.
Yeah.
Because it's capitalist, right? So if you actually stop and think about, hey Larry, I'm gonna ask you a favor. Throw your gum in that paper right there. It's all good.
Can't do it.
It's okay. It's okay.
Perfectionist Nick strikes again.
I'm not a perfectionist. It's a thing.
The,
It's a thing.
the evidence is piling against you, Nick. Sorry.
Anyway. Thank you. Thank you.
You know, Larry, he really likes when you take your cup of ice and just kind of swish it around the mic. He really gets him going.
I forgot. What was I saying now?
Uh-oh.
You're talking about yeah.
We're talking about debt. Americans
you're
make
talking
money.
about-
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think about America, it's capitalist. Like,
Right.
if you think about it, everything that's surrounding you is somebody trying to get some money from you. Every time a commercial plays on a podcast or the radio, every time you see a sign, a billboard, like everything is about the exchange of goods and money. And it's not a bad thing, but we get programmed to where you have to have stuff. That is how you are successful, when you have things, when you have bought a home, when you have a car,
Right.
when you have nice things, when you're able to go on vacation. This is what we've been programmed as to. This is what success is having things.
Well, American government and businesses, they make it so easy for people to accrue debt. Oh, you want this? You know what? You don't even have to pay anything right now. And you know what? We're going to make your payment so low. And it's so easy that they just hand it out to everybody. And then that's when, all the big problems happen,
and it happens before you know it. You're in
Absolutely.
debt and you don't even have anything for that debt.
But if you have, a perfect credit score and you buy everything in cash, it's very difficult. Oh, you want to book a hotel room? We need a credit card. Debit
Right.
card? No. Credit card.
Exactly.
So you have to. It does not make any sense. It's a scam.
There's definitely a problem with the system, but the reason they're able to do that is because they can get away with it because people want stuff.
People want stuff. yeah.
It's because now like you kind of going what you're saying, society is now measured on not the value of your worth of what you can do. It's measured now what you own,
What you got?
what you got. That's the transition of what your worth has moved from.
Or what is your potential to help me make more money?
Right.
So I can get more stuff.
Right.
That's basically what it boils down
Stuff.
to.
And I like
And-
to think that's hopefully shifting away from all that. There's
Yeah.
a lot more service-minded people and helping out one another. Hopefully,
One
so
might hope.
I'm
I mean,
gonna-
Elon Musk just gave $50 million to to St. Jude's. I'm sure that's a tax write-off for him, but still,
It's great.
very nice of him.
It's great.
I'm an Elon Musk fan.
I don't have a
I-
problem with the guy. I don't have a problem with
I
him
think
at
he's
all.
crazy, and I like crazy. So
He's literally our actual
Tony
Tony
Stark.
Stark.
Yeah,
That's literally what he is.
just not good looking and no charisma. But other than that,
He's not bad looking.
he does. He's a total nerd, man.
Okay.
I
Well,
love
yeah.
nerds. Nerds are hot.
He's not Tony Stark. He's more
He
like
is.
Bruce Banner.
I'm gonna start pushing that every time you make something like that. That's starting right
on.
now.
No, okay, so
He's cute.
but
Boom.
here's the thing though. So think about when you were a kid though, and I grew up very different. We didn't have a lot of money, so I didn't get things. So maybe that's what made me appreciate the things that I do have now. And my wife would tell you I'm a cheapskate because I'm used to being frugal. Like that's my thing. It hurts to spend money. I hate it.
Speaking of that, I need my ladder back.
Okay. You didn't sell me. Wait, what? Okay. Yes, you can have your ladder back.
You're borrowing my ladder for so long, so you have to pay for one.
Right.
See?
You don't need it.
See?
Anyway. No, and so, but, my wife, she grew up, I'm not going to say they were wealthy, but the family was well off. Her father owned a business. Her grandfather, the family owned a business. And she was used to just having things, the things she needed and the things she wanted. And so when we came together, we had very different philosophies on me. I'm not going to say she placed, I think my wife would tell you at a point in her life, she probably was what she would call materialistic. And I'm not saying that to say she was a bad person, but she was just used to being able to have
stuff.
She likes stuff.
Yeah.
And having what you want.
I like stuff.
And she had this idea that okay, that this is the house I need to live in, this is the car I need to drive, this is at this age, and that's kind of something we do too as a society. We program okay, you should have this by this time, you should be doing this by hand, marriage, kids, and we're all kind of looking at the other person to see what they got. And what it does is, I guess you could say it keeps the economy going because we're just constantly, I got to get that. Look at that. I just bought this truck, but look at his truck.
Yep. Scroll
That
up
is-
the gram. Damn,
that is
you
a
see
nice
what
truck.
Ashley just got? Oh,
Right.
my God.
And so it's so, I don't want to say dangerous, but for me, when I finally realized what I was doing, I stopped. And like I said earlier, my child's not going to remember what I got for her for Christmas 3 years ago in 20 years. She's not going to remember the toy or the earring or the, whatever.
I mean, if it was
the
a Nintendo
headphones.
64, you will never forget that.
I remember a handful
Just
of my
letting you know.
favorite Christmas gifts, but that was it.
Right. It was probably the big ones, right? Because that was the thing that validated you to your friends. I got a 64. I'm the man.
I got a 64. I got a PlayStation 1.
Right,
I
so
got a
even-
PlayStation 2.
All right, I'm gonna nerd out here. My favorite Christmas gift I ever got was a microscope.
That did not make you cool with your friends. So
I would go down to the bayou and collect samples, and it was crazy.
What
you could
is-
see this
what?
stuff. It was so cool.
Oh my
no,
God.
microscopes
So cool.
are cool, but I'm not gonna say that's a gift you got for status. That's that's definitely not the case.
I've always,
But
marched to the beat of my own
you guys
drum.
understand what I'm saying though. Even as kids, we
Yeah.
like to compare. There were some mean kids at school. I had jacked up shoes, and they'd make fun of me for wearing jacked up shoes. I don't know. And so when you become an adult, you really don't lose that. You want stuff. And it's hard to not. It's hard to say to yourself, "I'm not going to worry about what other people think." Because you can say that, but when you're in the thick of it, people want to be liked, people want to be accepted. But what's it cost? At what cost? Okay, you're working a third to some people nearly half of their lives. The average American still today, if they have an emergency, can't afford a $500 emergency payment though.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
All that work, all that
Much-
stuff.
Even worse than that is they're terrified to have to ask their boss for the time off. Mm-hmm. They're going to get let go. It's
Absolutely.
crazy. So many people go without treatment, and not because of the money, but because they're just terrified of losing their job.
Yeah, and that's absolutely
crazy.
true. And
It's
I was
crazy.
looking at some statistics of people, how much vacation time is left on the table, and we'll get to that in a little
used
bit.
to leave-
It's a lot. Yeah,
I used to leave so much vacation time on it because I was more worried about I'll get paid for it extra,
right.
instead of
Actually,
just
taking the time.
taking the vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you, I'm gonna get to your guys' personal experiences too. So Larry, you said, I'm sorry, Stephen, when you were in the plants, you and your current wife were dating.
No. We got married. When did we get married?
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
You
two.
watching this?
Yeah.
It's been such a wonderful time. He's just blows
Time
his
flies
mind.
when you're having fun.
Busted.
So we got married in 02, and I didn't go to the plants until like 2009.
Okay.
Somewhere
What
like
at any point did you working affect your relationship?
No, but because my wife and I have an amazing relationship,
Yeah.
so it didn't affect our relationship. We just did things differently.
Right.
What it did affect was my relationship with my kids.
Okay.
And so my son Ethan just graduated from high school this year, and he was I think he was in 8th grade or 9th grade whenever I quit the plant to do this, and we got to a point to where he and I were having a conversation one time, and just, oh man, he's such a good kid. He said, we were talking. He said, "Dad, I know we don't have as much money as we used to have, but I like having you around."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Hit you in the
All
feels.
that,
Oh, yeah.
Hit you
all
in the
that
feels.
loss. I mean, whatever it may be, totally worth it.
so
Yeah.
that
That's
was
the thing.
That was the thing, and so I knew that my wife and I.
Was that bothering you the whole time?
No,
I almost
it's fine.
got up too. I was like,
I wanted to set a timer to see how long it would take.
I mean, technically, right around the time that I started this timer, it's been about 15 minutes
It's
that are
cool.
sitting on the table.
It's cool. To the listening audience, we've had 2 wads of gum in the middle of the table for the last 10 minutes.
Staring at everybody.
Anyway, no. So okay, that's a beautiful thing, man. And I'm honestly surprised that, because even if it didn't affect your marriage, if it's affecting you and your kids, sometimes that could easily trickle
Right,
over
right.
into some marriage issues.
But I will say this: that since I have gotten out of the plants and I'm doing my thing, so my wife actually runs my business for me. She's the reason, honestly, why we are as successful right now as we
Right.
are, just because she does so much stuff. So we work together, we live together, and our relationship is better now than it was even back then.
Shout
As
out
good
to
as it was.
Shanda.
Yeah,
Shout
for
out to
real. That's
Shanda.
what I was gonna
Nah,
say.
Shanda's- honestly,
She's the real
Behind
MVP.
every strong man is a strong woman.
absolutely.
I feel you.
She's
I feel
done.
you.
I would be silly for me to sit here and say it's all because of me. There's a lot of things that have taken place, and a lot of people that have poured into for my business. The community, the people in the community, put us out there all the time.
Oh yeah.
It's but Shanda's really the main reason why we've been able to do what we've
That's a
done.
beautiful thing, man. I think you should consider yourself blessed, and I'm sure you do.
Truly.
And I'm glad that you you got that connection with your son and with your other kids, and that's a beautiful thing. So Larry, as long as I've known you, you've been a hustler. You've been getting it. Every time I call you, you're like, I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. And you also have an amazing story, and I don't want you don't have to sit here and tell us your whole life story. But your story is littered with adversity. And it's also, we talked about the merger that you guys are making. One of the reasons that this merger is happening is because you realized you were struggling with this work-life balance thing. So I want you to start from when you decided to go into business for yourself, maybe a little bit before that. What were you doing before that? And then talk about what your mindset was when you first went into business, and we'll connect that to how you got to the point where you are now.
Yeah, well, first off, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Great to be here. Man, I was trying to think back that far, but so I was working in a plant in Beaumont, and I just found out I had my daughter. Well, I just got custody of her. She was 22 months old. So that was just a massive awakening for me, knowing I was single 36 years, now I got a daughter.
Right.
And so I had to readjust everything, and I was dropping her off at my folks' house at about 4 in the morning, and then driving to Beaumont to be at the gate to
Right.
get into the plant. And I did that for a little while, and I was like, man, this is crazy. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And I didn't have time with her.
Yeah.
And so I just started a roofing company. My mom needed a roofer she could trust, and she was a realtor. And
Push that mic to your right a little bit,
Okay.
because you're going to talk into the side of it.
I was gonna say like that.
There you go.
There you go.
Perfect.
Okay.
There we go. Now we
And,
now we hear that sultry voice.
There it is.
Okay. And so, where was I?
Your mom.
Oh, yeah. And so I just needed time with my daughter.
Right.
Because I just got custody of her. And so my mom needed a roofer, and I heard her talking, and I was like, well, they can't be that hard.
Probably
Right.
what
That's
everybody
what we all think, right?
Well, but back then, though, there wasn't social media. There wasn't nothing. So, it was a grind. And I just remember losing so much money when I first started. But I was helping my mom. And I had a good crew. And anyway, and so it just evolved, but I struggled for probably 10 of those 12 years that I had my company. But I had time with my daughter. And that was what was important. And so, not till I moved to Deer Park did really my company just blow up.
Yeah.
That was a crazy thing.
Deer Park's a great community in that aspect.
It is. And, man, I tell you, I'm just so blessed to be a part of it and be in it. And, you see that in the businesses, like the local businesses. I mean, they just support each other. And that's what we're supposed to do, support, our local, business and put money back into the community and stuff. And so, for me, it's just and then going through cancer, that's what really opened my eyes to
Yeah.
I can't do this.
Well, you had a few near-death experiences, didn't you?
Yeah, and in 15, I fell off a roof and I broke all my left side.
Oh my gosh.
And it was, that was pretty bad. But then 2 years later, I got hit by an 18-wheeler, and that was really bad.
Yeah.
And that he really cleaned my clock, that one. But
we need to wrap you in bubble wrap, bro.
That's what I told him.
Oh my gosh. I can't. I'm still trying to wrap my head around when he fell off a roof and broken all that stuff. And then he says the 18-wheeler is worse than that. Oh my gosh. It just sounds.
Nonchalantly. Hey, I just fell off and broke everything on my left side. Then I got hit, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But I was just blessed to be here, and so going through those, but I tell you what's crazy is so, it got busy in Deer Park when I moved here, but in those times of recovering from these accidents, my company was still thriving, and it was the weirdest thing. I didn't know how it was, but God kept it moving, and because I couldn't really do anything.
Yeah.
But then getting into Deer Park, and then he'd approached me a couple years ago, and Stephen did, and but I had my company, and I didn't have cancer, and but kind of going back to what you were saying.
That's when you were clicking.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That main
You
night.
probably weren't even thinking about slowing down. You wanted to.
No, but what I was doing was I was putting everything before my family.
Right.
And I didn't prioritize everything like I should have, like you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what got me.
Yeah.
And so, went through some things, and then just talking to him again, we circled back to our conversation 2 years ago, and it was just the right time.
Yeah.
For me, because I know what I did to put me in that position that I was at, where I almost lost my family.
Yeah.
And
talk about that a little. How did cancer, first of all, put things in perspective for you?
Well,
and then, you don't have to go into details, but you said you were in danger of losing your family even while going through that, because even when you told me you had cancer, you were still at work every day.
Yeah, but cancer is just it's a weird beast. It is. Falling off the roof was crazy, but I knew if I lived, I would heal.
Right.
Eventually, getting hit by that 18-wheeler, I knew if I lived, then I would eventually heal.
Yeah.
Still hurt, but I healed. But the cancer is just cancer. It's just and I, you just hate to hear anybody is having to go through that.
Yeah.
Because we've all know somebody that's
Absolutely.
been through that.
Absolutely.
And so, I lost my train of thought.
No, I just wanted to. So you said, I wanted to just ask you how cancer put things into perspective as far as spending time with your family.
Yeah, and so when I got back, being cash pay and not having insurance or working for, I was a 1099, not a W-2, and so I never had insurance. But never really got sick though, and so in January of 20, I was going to try to get insurance for my family. And lady came, did all that stuff they do, and that's where the cancer came up. And she, she said, we need to send you here because you're some look suspicious. And
so you found out about the cancer while they were evaluating you for insurance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's kind of how it came about. And but then I couldn't get insurance. It was just because it was pre-existing.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so it's just been the whole. When you need it, you realize it's hard to get.
Right.
Because by the time you need it, it's pre-existing. So that's a whole nother.
Conversation. Absolutely.
Yeah. But they were able to take the cancer out, and it's gone. They said, and so I'm blessed for that. But it put everything in perspective for me. It's because it's so fragile life is. When you think you got it, because we were like you said, clicking on all cylinders, and then that. And then it's like, oh man, and it kind of stops you in your tracks.
You realize you're not immortal.
No.
You're not impervious. I mean, you're a guy who survived falling off a roof and getting hit by an 18-wheeler. So at that point, you're probably like, I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, what's cancer?
What's cancer? Yeah. Exactly. How many kids do you have, Larry?
I've got 3. Four.
4.
I got my daughter, and then 3 other kids with my wife.
Okay.
So.
And so you said it kind of put things into perspective for you because you've been grinding, you've been getting it. At what point in this process did you hit that point where you're like, I got to do something different?
Probably when my wife left, and she had just had enough. But it had been building. It ain't like she just left.
Larry, I imagine it's hard to be married to Larry Showalter. I mean that with all the love in the world, man. But like,
I wouldn't wish that on nobody.
Larry Showalter is it's a machine. Like I imagine it's hard to be Larry Showalter's wife because
that gives me a headache just thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, you're all over the community. Everybody knows who you are, and sometimes a woman in that situation, she may feel like, first of all, like my identity is Larry Showalter's wife. And then you said you're working, so there's distance growing between the two of you. I could see easily how, when we get comfortable and we get content, sometimes things start slipping away and we don't even realize it. So it probably hit you like a ton of lead when she said I'm out.
It did.
Until you started thinking about it.
Yeah. And so, like I was saying, this has been going on over a long period of time.
Right.
And I didn't see it. I thought I was doing everything right.
Right.
I was working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I thought
that's what a woman wants, right? She wants a man that works. And
and so, unbeknownst to me, they want your time. They don't want, like you were saying earlier, and I get it. I totally get it because I'm like, well, crap, man. It's like, okay, now I got to. So everything was on the page. I just had to organize everything.
Right.
And so, and it just kind of all goes back to, why we merged was because I don't want to make that mistake again.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I don't have to do what I did.
Mm-hmm. And you got a new lease on life, man.
Oh, absolutely.
That's beautiful.
I mean, all the way around. I mean, restored marriage, cancer, but yeah, I mean, it's, won't make that mistake twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing, man. It's not every person learns from their mistakes like that.
I was about to say, it's all learning experiences.
You could have easily blamed everything on your wife, on your kids.
I mean, even at 63, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
I mean, 53.
53, baby. 53.
I was going to say, dang, you look good for 63.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's why I wanted you on the show, though, man, and you too, because you guys, maybe it took you a while to figure it out, but you guys have figured out a system that works for you, and you having your wife involved in your business. I'm
working on it.
It's definitely a work in progress.
I hope, Larry, until the day they put you in the ground, you're probably going to be working on it. And with the day you stop working on it is the day you messed up. And I feel the same way. So I have a lot of time. I work a half-year schedule now. I work a DuPont schedule. So there's a lot of now, my teenagers, they're getting older. You guys have teenagers, man. We need to have a whole nother podcast on that shit. But but
I got
you
two
know,
dogs and 2 cats.
hey, you can join the show. You can join the show.
I'll give you one of my kids.
I'm just saying,
fine.
like,
Let's do
so
it.
on my when I'm
Just the best.
my
one.
days off, where I really need to focus on is probably spending more time with my wife, more so than my kids. But I still want to, my kids are getting to that age where I'm about to have to let them go, and so I'm trying to teach them, as much as I can with this limited amount of time to try to prepare them for that hammer that's coming when they step out into the real world.
Yeah.
And so for me now, I can tell you right now, I got a little bit content when my schedule changed to when I was home more. But what am I doing with the time that while I'm home? Yes, I'm home, but am I still spending time with the kids? It's easy to get locked into a routine. You take them to school, you pick them up, you take them to practice, you pick them up from practice. You see your wife, you guys figure out who's doing dinner, who's not, and you get into these routines and you forget to spend not just time, but quality time. If I'm sitting on the couch watching TV with, I'm watching TV, my wife's face is in her phone and she's looking at TikTok videos. Are we really spending quality time together? And I mean, I work, anywhere from 50, sometimes more hours a week. She's on salary, but she's always working, whether she's here or at home. And it's easy to lose track of those things because you're trying to do the grind. Yeah. You're trying to get the bills paid. You're trying to make sure the lights stay on, and hell, maybe even go on a vacation and do some other things too. And, I have kids, so I don't get to really buy myself anything. You guys know how that goes. All our money
for this podcast room.
This podcast room was a joint effort by many people. I didn't do it by myself, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I was I'm fortunate that I had kind of had this epiphany in my late 20s. So I've tried to take advantage of this time, but we can always do better. That's what I was saying. Yeah. We should always work more.
I'm just stuck in that everlasting cycle of guilt. When I'm working, I should be cleaning, or I should be hanging out with my kids. And when I'm with my kids, I'm like, oh, I got another text from my client. Like, I should probably be doing this.
Yeah.
And it's just non-stop. No matter what I'm doing, I feel like it's not right. And that is a terrible feeling.
So how are you navigating that? Or are you still trying to?
That's the $1 million question,
SOS.
Naomi.
Every day is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have an
I
answer
you
for
do
it.
the hardest job on the planet, and you have a job. So
It's,
I mean,
I see what you did there, Nick. I like that. That was good.
it's hard.
I'm not downplaying it. Being a mom is hard, and I know. Like, and I'm thankful that what you contribute to this podcast, like, you have contributed so much to this podcast, and I know that it's probably not. You're not just have nothing to do, just sitting around like, oh, I guess I'll work on the podcast now.
Hey,
Like,
well, we call it podcast therapy for a reason, all right? Y'all are helping me.
Yeah, I know you're probably having to take some time out of your day and set it aside and work on your headlines or make this social media post.
For sure.
So I really appreciate that. And I tell, I hope you know the same for you, Josh. Like, I know, but this is therapy for us. This is where we get to kind of sit down and rehash, okay, this is what I've done right. This is what I've done wrong. And maybe I get some advice from Josh or Larry or Stephen and that's why I love this platform so much, so we can have these type of discussions. So
I was going to say, so if I'm hearing this correctly, it sounds like the answer to a healthy work-life balance is having a good team.
yes,
100%.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that team starts at home.
Well, I want to, before I lose my train of thought, there was one thing that Larry said that's really spoken to me this whole time, is what he was talking about earlier when he was working in the plants. And y'all all know me in this room. Some of the listeners may not know me personally, but I used to work in a plant before I started doing this. I don't have any kids. I guess you can say fortunate or unfortunate, but I as well did the same thing where I got tired of working for somebody else. And in Larry's case, the time that he was taken away from was his daughter.
Right.
In my case, it was my wife. We were
Exactly.
just freshly married. And the thing Larry said that really spoke to me, he said when he quit, he didn't have the money, but he had the time with his daughter.
Yeah.
So it was no longer the measurement of the money that he was making. It was the
Yes.
measurement of the time he was spending with his daughter was worth more than that money.
Yep. Yep.
And I think that is something that's really lost in our society right now.
What is the definition of success to you?
Exactly.
Is it
Exactly.
how much you have, what you have, the things you have, your status, or is it that you're a man who takes care of his family and has a good relationship with his kids and his wife, and you know she's not running around behind your back because you're out at work every day? Like,
And it
what's your
happens-
definition of success? Yeah, and for some people, their definition of success is the money. They don't care. Like,
Yep.
and they feel like their family should be grateful because they've provided them with things and with money and security.
Well, and you'll notice those are the first people that usually will start suffering from home life problems, depression. And those are the first
Absolutely.
people that start suffering from that.
Yeah, and it starts with it's probably a lack of self-confidence.
Yeah.
Needing something to build that confidence, and so,
Well-
like I said, in our society, you're
Yeah.
kind of trained from a young age.
And people who are good at their jobs, or if they're good at being a housewife, or good at whatever it is, you tend to cling to those things because that's you get the most. It's most rewarding because you're
Right.
good at it. You feel good about it,
Yeah.
so it's easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
true.
I would say, I mean, my wife's wonderful at what she does, and sometimes she struggles and kind of catches herself, and she's like, "Oh my God, like I need some work-life balance." And she's literally told me that before, and you don't even realize it. You 2 weeks go by and you realize, like, I haven't had a real conversation with my wife in 2 weeks.
Oh, for
Other
real.
than like, what's for dinner? Are you taking the kids to school?
Yeah.
Like,
And
Yeah.
another thing too is that this is not something that it's a light switch. It doesn't flip and it's automatically changed. It's something you're always working on.
Yeah.
As we are recording right now, I struggle with that.
Yeah.
Is no between
You're
my
late for
wife-
date night with your wife already.
And I know exactly. So I mean, I'm talking. It's something
It's
that
a
you're
special
always
date night. 10 years.
10 years.
Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Been together for 10 years.
Happy anniversary.
Josh is gonna come back single next episode.
Yeah. Our next episode is about divorce, and no, but it's something that
All right,
you're
man, I
always
got you.
working. It's
His wife is texting him like, "What's up? Where you at?"
man.
Wednesday's date night, bro. So
yeah.
So that's one thing that I appreciate about Stephen that I never knew. I mean, just getting to know him, is that like him and his wife make time for date nights. Mm-hmm. Which
love
I
it.
think is really cool.
Yeah.
I told my wife that, and she was like, "What?"
Yeah.
You always got a court, man.
That's
My wife and I do it on occasion. We don't do it as much as we should.
Yeah,
but
we
it's
don't
definitely
force date nights, but we've got motorcycles, and obviously that's something we don't do with the kids.
right.
And so when we're out riding, and we feel like ourselves, we leave work, leave the kids behind, and it's just us. So riding that's our thing, and I think as long as you've got a thing,
Yeah,
you're good.
it is cool.
I agree with that, and I'm very happy for both of you, especially you, Larry, because I know you were going through some struggles, and you're never too old to figure stuff out, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And
learn. And,
yeah, absolutely.
and that's the thing is, just making those adjustments where now it's like that's a priority to me is my family.
Yeah.
And not so much work. So I mean, still gonna work, but it's just the balance was just
Yeah.
super way off.
Well, I really appreciate your humility and first of all realizing like I need to fix something.
Oh.
And you figured that out and you're doing it, man. And I'm proud of you. And I'm proud of the both of you for joining together and doing this upscale roofing thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Hopefully,
It's gonna be
hopefully.
good. Yeah.
Oh no, I already know that. Like I have no doubt about that. We just got to figure out a way to, get you guys signed in the studio somewhere, man.
Well, you already have 3 clients sitting right here in this room, so if anybody else will
Absolutely.
keep it up.
Absolutely. I think you guys are off to a good start just by being who you are, man. So congratulations again. And
Thanks, Nick.
thanks for coming in and telling your guys' story. I know I kept you guys a little late, so I'm gonna get you out of here. Are we gonna do a specialty segment really quick?
That is completely up to you.
Who
Nick.
brought dad jokes? Did anybody bring dad jokes?
I got some.
You say bad or dad?
Dad.
Oh.
There's
You
like,
just
I'm
got
out.
those. You got those in the back of
I
your
got
head.
bad jokes. But go ahead, Dad.
Did anybody? Do we want to do that? Okay. First of all, run a Myriad mobile ad real quick, and then let's figure out what we're gonna do. Hey guys, it's Nick Stevenson again. Here to tell you about my friend Brian Wells and his mobile welding and mobile mechanic service, Myriad Mobile. Brian has been welding for over 20 years, and he will let his work speak for itself. Welding repairs, whether they're industrial or residential, wrought iron fencing, he can repair that old rusty fence and repaint it, or he'll even build you a new one. Oh, and in case you missed it, that's right. I also said that Brian offers mobile mechanic services. You need a part changed, your brakes or your oil changed, why not do it from the comfort of your own home? Myriad Mobile will come to you. So whether it's an industrial or residential welding repair, or you need a new fence, or you don't want to drive or have your car towed to the mechanic shop, then call my friend Brian Wells at Myriad Mobile. The number to call is 713-538-6938. That's 713-538-6938. Myriad Mobile, welding and car repair. Tell them that Nick from the Smells Like Middle Age Spirit podcast sent you.
Hold on to your stitches. It's time for dad jokes.
All right, we're gonna do this real quick. A little dad joke contest. It's gonna be Smells Like Middle Age Spirit podcast versus Upscale Roofing.
Ooh. I'm on upscale roofing.
All right,
Our quality's through the roof.
let's do like 2 or 3 each and see how that goes.
Was that the
Is that,
catchphrase?
is that it?
That's the catchphrase.
Oh,
is
I
it?
like it.
Wait.
That's
What was it
Larry.
again?
Our quality is through the roof.
Upscale Roofing. Our quality is through the roof.
There's your voiceover right there.
Boom.
I got it for you, man. You need a commercial, let me know. Okay. Are you guys prepared to do this? So this is how it's going to go. You're going to tell your dad joke to Steven.
Okay.
Neither one of you can laugh. If you laugh, it's a point against you.
I'm already laughing.
Okay.
And then we're going to tell our jokes to each other if we laugh, and whoever gets the fewest laughs wins the game.
All right.
You going first?
Yeah.
All right, here's Larry.
Steven, how do you follow Will Smith in the snow?
I do not know.
You follow the Fresh Prince.
I think Josh used that one last time. You gave him your old dad jokes?
No, I didn't use that one.
All right, cool. You ready?
Ready?
All right, you go first.
Okie dokie. Did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? Great food, no atmosphere. I'm hilarious.
Does that count? You're counting that?
Jeez,
Can't laugh, Naomi.
Damn it!
The producer
All right.
says it was a laugh. It was a
All
laugh.
right.
Boom. All right. 1-0.
Steven?
I gotta check myself.
All right. Larry, what does a bee use to brush its hair?
I don't know.
A honeycomb.
Good job. That was tough. You ready?
Ready?
What kind of plants go in the bathroom?
What kind?
Toiletries. Yes. Don't laugh. No, they laugh first. So we
I was about to say that was afterwards. That was afterwards.
you're really not supposed to laugh at all. But okay.
I can't not laugh.
That one was good.
Hit that music continue button.
Oh man, that was good. Yeah,
Music continue.
I got
You
you.
got- okay.
I got you.
I laugh at everything.
It's all good. All right, let's do one more each.
Okay.
Here, Larry.
It's Larry's turn. It's one apiece, right? It's a tie game.
Tie game.
He cheated.
Hey, that was great. That was a pretty good one. That's almost like the stick one.
Steven, singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in your mouth. Then it's a soap opera.
I'm sorry.
That was good. I didn't even see that one on there. That was a good one.
I'm gonna think about that every single time I get soap in my mouth from now
that's
on.
awesome.
Soap opera.
All right, Naomi.
All right.
It's on you.
If you laugh,
Okay, I
you
got
gotta
this.
play one more.
Oh, okay, I got this. Okay, what do sprinters eat before a race?
What?
Nothing. They fast.
That was quality, but I did not laugh. Sweet.
That's good.
That was good. That was good. All right, Steven.
All right, here we go.
Smells Like Miller Spirit podcast is losing apparently.
Yeah.
All right, Larry.
You gotta do one more, Naomi. She wants to do one more.
All right, we'll do 3 if we can hurry.
All right, you're
I gotta
good.
get
We got
y'all on
plenty of
those
time.
dates.
Larry, what do you call cheese that isn't yours?
I don't know.
Nacho cheese.
Very good quality dad joke. Naomi, what did the Chinese twins call their rap group?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
2 Changs.
On the next episode of Smells Like the Miller Spirit, is that racist?
I didn't say Chinks, I said Changs.
2 Changs.
Their last name is Chang.
2 Changs.
2 Changs. That was funny.
That was good.
Does that count as a laugh? I spit. I don't know if I laughed.
There's your laugh.
That laugh.
Okay,
Every time.
let's all do one more. One more.
All right, sudden death.
Sudden death.
Your best one.
Oh, Lord.
You didn't hit the continued music button.
I did. It's already over.
It's supposed to loop.
Oh.
If you hit continued, it'll loop. Did it not loop?
Nope.
I'll check it later.
You be messing with my buttons.
It's okay. A little behind the curtains of the Smells Like Miller Spirit podcast. All right, while Larry's looking, I'm going to go.
All right.
What's the difference between a joke and 3 dicks?
What? What?
Your mom can't take a joke.
That is not a dad joke. That is just a flat out joke.
And the joke of this dad contest goes to Nick.
That
Drop
was,
the mic.
That
I
was
like that
beautiful.
one. I like that one.
I'm sorry.
Should we even go?
I was
on?
like, that's not even a dad joke, but I saw it. I was
Totally
like,
not a dad joke.
that is funny.
I like that one.
My son asked me before I left the house, "Hey, Dad, am I going to be able to listen to this podcast?" I said, "Yeah, sure."
Nope.
No.
Sorry, son. Sorry.
Oh, man. Sorry. We'll do the kid-friendly version next time.
Who's up?
We'll just put a beep on it.
You got one, Larry?
Yeah.
You guys each go one more time.
Steven. A skeleton walks into a bar and says, "Hey, bartender, I'll have a beer and a mop."
That is great. I'm sorry.
I don't know if it was the joke or Larry's like,
Yeah, like, that's
He's
it,
like, that was
that's
it.
"I'm off." Yeah.
I didn't even get the punchline. He was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm like, oh, I got it. All right.
All right. What happens when you go to the bathroom in France? European.
Already knew.
That's the one I was literally laughing at. That was gold. Gold. Get it?
All right. Steven's
right.
going to get us out of here.
Last one. All right. Larry, why can't a nose be 12 inches long?
Ooh.
Because then it would be a foot.
I wasn't going to laugh until Naomi did.
I can't help it.
Oh, that was good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Dad Jokes.
That's
Brought
a
to
good
you by
like,
Myriad
joke for
Mobile.
kids. See?
Yeah, yeah.
Listen to that one.
Just skip my joke. Yeah, that was Dad Jokes brought to you by Myriad Mobile. Thank you, everybody who tuned in today. Larry, Steven, once again, thank you for not only being here, but just your support of the show in general. You guys are part of the squad. We're winding down this season. This season, we had a few bumps in the road, man, but we're still excited about next season, and we hope you guys will still be rocking with us.
Man, y'all rock, bro.
I appreciate it so much. We had a great time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening right now, whatever platform you're listening on, whether it's Spotify, maybe you're listening on Apple, Google, I don't know, YouTube channel, go down to the description. There's going to be a little link there, and it says tip jar. If you enjoyed the show, you can click that link, or you can go to smellslikeMiddleAgeSpiritPodcast.com. Down at the bottom by the links, there's also a tip jar link there. Look, man, this podcast, We're trying to get it to generate some revenue so that we can keep bringing you content on a regular basis. If you enjoyed what you heard, leave us a little something. You know, we appreciate anything you can leave. And we promise you it's going to go right back into the podcast so we can continue bringing you the content that you love. And don't forget to go to the Spirit Swag store. It's open now again. Get you some merch so you can represent your favorite podcast in style.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, Naomi did a fantastic job on that store as well. So
yeah.
gotta get you some t-shirts. Wintertime's coming, the fall's coming, so get you some hoodies and some sweaters. Got a nice Letterman jacket in there too. There's some good stuff in there.
Nice.
So go represent. Is there anything else you guys want to add before I get us out of here? Did you remember to do the video ads while we were talking?
I did actually.
Good job.
I'm not real sure the space.
No, that's fine. As long as you got them all in.
So those of you that saw it, I did great.
Can we give Josh Beard a hand? This was his first time with the new setup, and he's the best producer in podcasting. I say it all the time. And
the only pod.
I'm looking forward to next week already, guys. So I'm gonna get us out of here for our special guests, Larry Showalter and Stephen Terry of Upscale Roofing. Now, congratulations on that once again. I'm gonna get us out. My name's Nick Stevenson.
And I'm Naomi Richardson, and we will catch you next time.
Good night.
You've been listening to the Smells Like Middle-Aged Spirit podcast. For more show content, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to visit SpiritSwagStore.com for everything you need to rep your favorite podcast in style.